Welcome to Tibalt Apprentice. We're going to continue what we were doing there with the Nixilis deck. Somewhere around here I got a package. Oh yes, here it is. Anyhow, it was very difficult. Probably should be careful how I cut into this, shouldn't I? Let's do it like that. All right, I was very excited to get this this past week. Is that color fluctuation? That's going to be awful, isn't it? All right, we're going to see how this goes. Anyhow, yeah, wow, that is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So as I was saying, I got a package last week, and I got it just in time to go play some Magic. Somewhere I put scissors down. Here we go. We got together my core 4, as you may have noticed from the last video where I talked a little bit about Spell Table. But I knew that this was not going to have all the cards in it that I needed for the Nixilis deck. As a matter of fact, I started to go through on that last video and see the cards that weren't going to be ordered. But instead of making you set through all that, I just turned the video off and I said we'd talk about it later and there'd be a part 2. So this is that part 2. These are about 280 bucks worth of cards. All done mostly as an experiment. Now at this point, 17 cards didn't arrive. They didn't have them in stock. And so instead of listing them all, I just decided to go through and see what categories didn't arrive. I missed a couple of ramp cards. I missed maybe half a dozen draw cards. So I went through just, well, you can see there, I went through the cards that I had on hand, a few of the cards that I had on hand, and decided to just pull out what I had there and kind of fill in those holes. Couldn't decide. I think in an effort to gain advantage over an opponent, I'm going to choose a nice bright set of sleeves to put on here, to then play a monocolored deck. Seems legit, doesn't it? And I'll probably use my my Tibalt box to keep them all in. Anyhow, I'm losing track and focus. The cards that didn't make it, it doesn't matter which ones. What did matter was the holes that were there. 2 ramp cards. So instead of the missing ramp cards, I'm adding Sasay's Ring, Amylary Sphere, and I'm kind of going a little overboard, as in putting also in a Commander Sphere. Not that I'm going overboard, but that's going to give me a little bit more than the 10 ramp that we initially talked about. The other thing that was missing was 6 draw cards. So of the draw cards, I stretched the definition of it, and this is probably where it's going to come back to bite me. I stretched the draw by putting in cards that give me cards back from the graveyard. I'm thinking draw doesn't necessarily have to be off the top of the deck. Ideally, I think drawing cards is a static ability that's on a card on the field, whether that be an artifact or a creature or whatever, some permanent that's going to let you draw cards repeatedly. I'm stretching that by just calling these draw cards that are letting me pull things back. Single-use things. Corpse Augur is one thing. Supernatural Stamina. The fact that it can bring the creature back to the battlefield. I figure I'm going to cash in on some EBTs. And Macabre Waltz. Again, I'm stretching it. An actual draw in the Ichor Wellspring. One-time thing. Like I said, this is more of an experiment, and I'm kind of going off the rails by just doing a little bit of everything, and I probably need to stop shaking the camera. Raise the Draugr. Blade Brand. Treacherous Blessing. I expect to use that late in the game when it's assured of getting a win, because it is indeed treacherous. So, Corpse Churn I found very useful in Standard when I was playing it in a black deck. Hexamon knows what I'm talking about there. He was one of the first ones to show me how vicious that could be, or how the incremental advantage that could be gained. Let's put it that way instead. 3 removal, 3 other cards, and 3 lands were the other things that were missing. And wow, my head is really shining, isn't it? I'm really distracted by what's going on here. Destroy a target creature. So here's another destroy. Elspeth's Nightmare. Force of Despair. I'm hoping to be able to bring cards back from the graveyard, not just this one, not just creatures, but Force of Despair, being able to knock out all those token creatures, all those creatures that are put on that board in a single turn. I'm hoping to use that. Feed the Serpent, a foil one, just because. Massacre Girl is the other card that's going in for fun now. And then I had a Rings of Brighthearth just hanging around. So that came out recently, and I just, well, I mean, it's not a recent card. It's, never mind, you know what's going in here. Anyhow, being able to cash in on effects 2 times a turn, always strong value. Rogue's Passage for the lands, and at this point, I've become very self-conscious. That's not the right word. Self-doubting as far as this experiment goes. It's the best way I can put it at this point. Yeah, my confidence has been shaken. At first, this sounded like a really good idea. I was making my own deck and following this recipe, and not getting the cards that I initially wanted. I have no idea what's going to happen. And now I'm scared to put any more money in it. But I want to put it together as is, and we're going to play with it, and we see what happens. So anyhow, on that note, I'm going to sleeve this up. And be sure to leave a comment below. Tell me which of these cards is a complete waste of time, whether this is a terrible idea. By the time I'm done with this and have this sleeved, the final list so far, will be listed on Tapped Out. So, yeah, tell me what you think about this deck, or whether this is just a terrible idea or I chose a bad commander. Leave your thoughts below.